you about a couple of things that are really important to me and to welcome you all. First, I would like to extend a big thanks for you guys being here at our 20th anniversary. We're almost old enough to drink ourselves, right? I see some older faces, not old faces, but faces that I recognize, and some new faces too, and I'm super excited that you all are here. Now, Harry and I had a bet on attendance. I was the over, he was the under. So when you see him, you tell him to drop and give you 2.5. Look at that, he's been training with the Black Rifle Coffee guys. It's our 20th summit, but it's about my lucky 13, but who's counting. And speaking of that tenure, being a woman and starting a family while working in the beer industry has been interesting, but I've been blessed to share it with many of you here. I actually brought my son Billy to MBWA Chicago in 2016 when he was just a few months old. I didn't know any better, I was a new mom. I actually also brought him to the Molson Coors reception in the Baby Bjorn. And I'll never forget, Paul Bertuzzi looked at me and he channeled Sweet Home Alabama and he said, "You brought a baby to a bar." I did. Fast forward to 2019, and it was actually here, not in this room, but over there, where I was on the stage within a few weeks of my daughter's due date. And when I say I've shared my family with some of you, I mean it. I mean, I was like a huge belly, tight yellow dress, and I think my daughter was asking the questions on that stage, like, why is mom still here? So why all of the oversharing, right? Well, just like anybody, I want to see more of me in this industry. And there's good research to support the increased profitability and decreased turnover for businesses that have more rather than less female leadership. We've been saying this a lot in the last year as we've been promoting BREW, which is what I'm talking to you about right now. But according to the Harvard Business Review, firms with more women in senior positions are more profitable and more socially responsible. And it's no secret that women buy a lot of the household staples like beer, right? So one way to get our industry closer to the increased ranks of female leadership is BREW, which is MBWA's program for building relationships and empowering women, and the interfacing three-tier group, the Alliance for Women in Beer. And I've had the immense privilege of participating in this new but growing program to promote more women to higher ranks of the beer industry. And in fact, I've got many of my BREW ladies with me here in this room, which I'm psyched about. They are leaders in every aspect of the industry, and I couldn't be more proud to call them friends and colleagues. We had our first event on the end of MBWA in Chicago last year. It sold out, standing room only. It was an amazing, engaging event, and we'll do it again this year. Hard to remember that it's 2023 now. So among the things we're working on at BREW this year is, first and foremost, connecting more women from across the industry to gain strength in numbers. But we're also building empowerment programs like our Leadership Academy, which will help cross-train leaders with vital skills they may lack outside of their existing set. If you want to learn more about BREW, you can visit this QR code, or maybe better, you can go tomorrow morning. We're going to have a table where you can talk to some of us about how you can get more involved. And there's also going to be a BREW tale at the reception to help support that Leadership Academy that I was talking about. So I don't know if y'all noticed, but tonight was pretty much a dude fest. Tomorrow, however, there's going to be many women on the stage, and that has nothing to do with BREW and everything to do with, these are some of the people who are moving the needle in our industry. But clearly there's more work to be done. So speaking of the future, which is why we're here, what can I say that Harry didn't address in his brilliant preamble? Our working theme here the next couple of days is the business of tomorrow. Just a note to set the stage there. I'm sure many of you know, having read all of the newsletters, that the BPI reached an all-time low of 30 in December, which in professional terms is a big yikes, because anything under 50 is segment contraction. And of course, the index measures what wholesalers are buying or plan to buy at the same time versus last year. And it's usually pretty prescient. I mean, in 2021, it helped predict the downturn of seltzer. Last year, the data saw imports slow in the second half, while below premiums ticked up, so we'll see where it goes from there. But I will leave you with this. Amid all of the tumult, there are reasons, I think, to believe in the recession-resistant nature of beer. This is a Federal Reserve chart, top 1%, you know, slightly down over the last couple of quarters, still lots of buying power. But you know who's doing really well? I think Harry kind of mentioned this. The bottom half have doubled their wealth since Q3 2019 versus Q3 of last year. And I would say that bodes pretty well for beer. The Wall Street Journal is calling what we're facing this year a rich session, sort of as in like trade your Birkin bag for some brewskis, hopefully. At least let's hope so for beer's sake. But we'll certainly dig into those issues over the next couple of days. So with that, I would like to thank you so much again. Wish you a great show. I really do always look forward to our summit to kick off the year with my beer family. It's just the best. So with that, I would like to see you at the reception at Ocean Lawn. So thank you so much.